of business where you're like, oops, someone paid me. How'd that happen? I don't know. Tra-la-la. We don't want that anymore. Shout out to Britney Spears, free her and leave her alone. But a long story short, we want you to be profitable by design and not by accident. This is something that Nettie and I have seen over the years with so many of our women leaders that we serve in our respective businesses and together when we team up, that women are aiming for something other than being profitable, um, more often than we'd like to see. And so it's time we did something about it, right, Nettie?
Yes, this is us taking a stand. Taking a stand for our women leaders out there who are surprised when they make money and frustrated when they don't, and they're really missing an important element here that would allow them to literally decide when the money is coming in, how the money is coming in, and how much of it is coming in. You and I both have designed these kinds of solutions before, and we've watched our mentors do the same thing. So there is a structure for this, and perhaps that's what you're missing. Well, let's talk about that today. I am Nettie Owens. My company is the Sapari Group. I've been serving and supporting executive women for over 2 decades. I love this work. I love to help women create their own system of success, one that's based on how they operate and what their goals are. So I do this through coaching and through planning and accountability supports. And today we're going to dive into structures that will help you be profitable on purpose, which this is not this is not a religious book. This is not a religious podcast, but we just don't want you to be accidental anymore about this. How about you, Victoria?
Oh yeah. We believe that women leaders have a purpose. Absolutely. You may be called from the heart to live your purpose. And we're talking about something different. We're talking about make money in an expected way. Like, oh, I'm making a move that will create money. And that's what we're looking at today. I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield, founder of strategicmeditation.com, where I help impact driven entrepreneurs and leaders like you to get and stay grounded and clear in mind, body, and business. I believe that your energy is everything. And when you feel better, you do better. And I'm talking in dollars and cents. This is the Wake Up Women Leaders podcast, episode 21. And OMG, that didn't happen on accident. That didn't just fly out of nowhere. Oh, no, no. We have designed this to the T. We have structures, systems, yes, AI to support certain aspects, but we also have actual intelligence and experience that we infuse into the process. We show up regularly and are intentional about co-creating this podcast for your viewers and listeners, to those of us who are not watching the video stream or restream. And so we want to bring that same sense of intentionality and awareness that generates regular, repeatable, trackable results, that spirit to the business. So what I've seen with quite a few of my female clients, I work with men and women, but with women, they will show up disciplined and hardworking, giving it their all, super focused, great at implementing and following through in certain areas of their life. But when it comes to marketing and sales in their business, that trait that they have elsewhere, let's say on hunting for the best stilettos, or let's say for booking the most fabulous vacation, or let's say finding clients for other people, but not
Mhm.
themselves, they will have this amazing, dogged, rugged, powerful, impactful, influential, and disciplined energy for the things that excite and delight them. But for some reason, when it comes to their own sales, I'm talking money being put into your hand, the money is deposited into the bank. For some reason, when it comes to your own sales, especially because that's my specialty and marketing, they don't have that same energy. Like, Nettie, have you seen this?
Well, I think the words that you used are really important to kind of step back, rewind, and play again. You have energy for the things that excite and delight you. And for whatever reason, marketing and sales, making money in your business apparently does not excite and delight you. That might show up with a lack of motivation or a lack of energy around this. And maybe your thing isn't stiletto heels. No big deal. Whatever lights you up, we're going to encourage you today to think about that and think about the energy that you have around that activity. Maybe it's like you pour everything into caring for others, and you have boundless amounts of energy somehow for doing that, for solving problems for others. But your business, which is decidedly you, and maybe even your own care for yourself, get left to last. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you are not paying attention and creating structure around creating excitement and delight in your business, around marketing and sales, then you are only going to have accidental sales, and you're going to be frustrated, not delighted, frustrated on a regular basis, trying to figure out why those sales are not materializing. But then you're going to look at the rest of your life and you're like, gosh darn it, you know what? I can figure this out. I can figure it out to bring in tens of thousands of dollars to the PTA for my kid's school. And I can figure it out when there's an emergency. And I can figure it out when I want to like grab a great deal on my favorite, designer, have a tremendous vacation. You can figure it out. And so you're probably sitting here frustrated, like, why can't I freaking figure this out? Well, the
Mm-hmm.
core of it, right, is you have decided on some level that your business, making money, doing marketing and sales is not exciting and delightful. And that is a problem.
Huge, huge problem. And it's what drops in for me as you say that, Nettie, is that it's also related to image.
Mhm.
Like, women especially are raised and socialized to really prioritize how they look to others and making sure they gain others' approval and maintain it. That's a survival response, right? If you at a core primal level as a female don't feel approved of and included in the tribe, you get kicked out of the tribe, and the ancient part of yourself as a woman knows that that is certain death. So, in order to survive, we're looking to please others and to look like, ooh, she works hard. She's a hard worker. Or, oh, she looks expensive. She like that looks like it's going to be great. Or, oh, you she looks good, or like all of this, the image, the issue of image. But being a hard worker or looking like to others that you're the hardest worker, or you look the best, like you have the most expensive photos, or the velvety finish on your business card, that has nothing to do with you being profitable. Looks and profitability are two very different things.
They are indeed. And I'm really glad that you're kind of drawing this point out here, because I think that for women, especially, men feel this too. So if you're listening, our male audience out there, the things that we share here, we see it a lot in our female community, but you may be experiencing it too. And it gets to the like, you can be efficient at the wrong thing. You can be pouring your energy into the wrong thing. You can be, you know, as Victoria said, looking like you're a hard worker, but working on the wrong stuff, or not having a plan to understand how that work is going to get you the results that you're aiming for. And coming back around to this, it has to do with having a plan. It also has to do with being motivated to do that plan. And so we really want to start to tease apart some ideas that you've probably never thought of in the way that Victoria and I are going to talk about it right now. And this has to do with one of my favorite topics, goal setting. I love setting a good goal. And a lot of the people that I work with come to me already pre-packaged with a goal, right? We're not figuring out their goal because they typically already know what it is. And that may be the case for you too. You already know what you want. You already know what it looks like. You already know what it feels like. You can imagine that. You can imagine when your business hits $1 million. Like, you are focused on that. You might even know how you're planning to make that $1 million. You might know what to do to make that $1 million. Like, you could have been designing these plans for months and years. This is going to be my $1 million business. This is going to be my agency with 15 people in it and serving the globe. This is going to be my record breaking, startup tech company, right? You may be able to put all of that down on pen, on paper and pen, right? And maybe you've been journaling about it and you're looking forward to it. You can see that. But I'm telling you that just because you know what you want and you know how you want to get there doesn't mean you're going to get up and do it. And so we're talking here about the motivation to actually do the work that it would take to reach your goals. So, goal setting and vision are really super important. We've talked about those in previous episodes. We'll talk more about it. But we're coming back to this excite and delight because we need these elements to be motivated to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see this? Where do you see this coming up, Victoria?
Oh, well, especially with the taking the step.
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to do, like, I've done 13 5-day challenge launches online, and it's been very successful, and it's great. And those, look, go ahead. What were you saying?
Just a side note, your 5-day Master Manifestor Challenge came up in conversation this past week, and it was great to think back about it. This was an exceptional program. So maybe Victoria will do it again one day, maybe not. But for those who participated, you know what this life-changing program was for you.
Shake the tree, petition the goddess, demand it, and maybe I might. I won't do it without being demanded, though. I have to receive demands in order to move it. Well, and here's the thing. During those 5-day challenges, one of the biggest things that my focus was for our participants, because my promise to them is like, you will manifest things this week. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's going to go from intangible to tangible in your hand, from vision to physical. How are you going to do that? All the work that we were doing with all of the hundreds and hundreds of people that have gone through those challenges was especially to find their specific recipe for feeling like doing the things they know they need to do. That's literally it. Right? So think of it this way, and I'm going to step outside of business, and I'm going to be a broken record because I love weightlifting. Screw you if you care. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't be able to now pick up 200 pounds in deadlift as my PR max. I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't done all of the hundreds and hundreds of lesser lifts beforehand. There was a time when 35 pounds was too much for me. And also, even before getting to picking up 35 pounds, to even get to the gym or to even get to touching a weight, what is the process to take me from one day I would love to pick up more than my own physical body weight off of the floor? What's the gap? How do I work the gap? How do I bridge the gap between, oh, I have an idea to, ooh, I have the idea? Like the idea is now made manifest. And in my work, I specialize in helping people find what's their unique feeling recipe. Um, One of my awesome mentors, someone I look up to and love, he gives great hugs, is Myron Golden. He says, why do people buy? Because they feel like it. All you need to do, therefore, is get people feeling like buying. Oh, and they're going to give you all kinds of money. And it's true. It's that getting into the feeling state is what's going to remove any barriers that you may have to executing on what works. So it's finding, okay, what is my recipe for feeling like selling and feeling confident enough to share my services or to charge at the level that is profitable based off of what my operations show me. Like what does that look like? Whereas I feel, Nettie, most people, when it comes to goal setting, fall into this Alice in Wonderland type rabbit hole of, well, let me plan another thing and let me learn another thing and let me plan and scheme and design and let me make this even more perfectly planned and you know this better than me. I don't know. What do you think?
It is so true, and I love a good plan. It's so delightful to sit down and imagine what you're creating. And what we know, the research shows, Gabrielle Odingen in her book Rethinking Positive Thinking, great read, very, very well researched book. She talks about this gap, and she talks about how if you just imagine what you're trying to create and you get yourself hyped up about it, your brain doesn't know the difference. And so your brain is like, oh, that was fun. Cool. We did it. Check. And you literally lose motivation. It sounds crazy because you've heard, our listeners, you have heard the power of positive thinking. You have heard how you need to visualize, and we're not wrong. That's not a wrong thing. Like we're talking today about how important it is to see where you're going, see what you're creating. However, if you stop there, you will peter out. You will fizzle out because you've used all of the energy on the visualization. You've tricked your brain into thinking it's true, and it's not true. You're not there yet. So now we need to come back. And the way that we come back, in Gabrielle's words, is to rub it up against reality. And so we come back to what is real now. What the truth now? You want that $1 million business and your bank account says $0. This is not to psych you out. And we're actually psyching you up by looking at this gap that's in between where you're going and where you are now. And in creating the plan for the gap, that's what we need. We need a plan that addresses the obstacles, that addresses your motivation, that addresses your way of getting from A to B. And I might have put those different order, but it's okay. Only the people who are watching know that. So the methodology that I teach around this is actually called the no fail goal plan. And it has you work through not only this visualization of what you're creating, where you are now, what the gap is, what the obstacles are, not just the physical obstacles, but also the mental obstacles that might be getting in your way. And we look at your system. What is your system for closing that gap? How are you going to take action? How are you going to take action when you don't feel like it? And we look at all of these pieces in an effort to move you into action, to excite and delight you with the possibility of what you're creating, and use that to energize you into motion.
Mm-hmm. You are so gifted, Nettie, at operationalizing focus. Like it is so like working with your workbooks or through your workshops to help a person pull out what's their success formula and see it like physically on the page and coming back up day after day, week after week, month after month, quarter after quarter, and annually being able to create your own self database is huge, and that's what you do for people. And the issue is that, especially as women leaders, we're so focused on other people's data and moving forward, pouring all of our energy into giving to others and caring for others, that we don't give ourselves the time to sit down, turn around, look behind us, and look at the trail of glitter that we just left and say, huh, what did I do that was so shiny?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, do I want to do that again? What would happen if I did? And before we went live, everyone, Nettie and I were talking about this, that self-reflective process of taking your shoe and hitting yourself in the face with it as the business owner, as the leader, saying, reflect, like sitting down and being like, all right, what did I do that worked? How did, okay, I want more clients. I want more money. Have I ever made money before in the past? Being the next question. And ooh, have I ever gotten a client before in the past? All right, how did I do that? How did I do that? Okay, write it out. Oh, let can I do that again? Am I doing that on a regular basis? Am I doing it at scale yet? Am I doing it efficiently? Is there any way that I can improve what I did to make it even more so? Like that steady practice of taking your own shoe of your own volition and smacking yourself in the face to do the, figuratively speaking, the reflection practice is something that Nettie and I do for ourselves regularly, for our clients, all of our mentors. The most successful people I know are constantly looking back at their own database, their own history, their own herstory to see where's the success, what's generating, especially what I want more of, and I'm going to be specific, that being money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hint at the third thing that we need to talk about on this episode of why most women leaders are never prioritizing profit. But the before we get there, the practice of reflection and really bringing into focus and reviving and reusing, recycling your own success, your own profit practices is so overlooked. Or am I the only one that just sees that this is so overlooked, especially amongst women leaders?
Oh no, I actually think that it's a pervasive problem in the business and entrepreneurial world, because I do think small business owners have this sense or feeling like, I don't have time, I don't have the structures, I don't know what to track, I don't know what to look at. And if I looked at it, I don't know what to do with that information. And then it just sometimes becomes super overwhelming. There's just a really simple set of 3 questions that I consistently ask myself. I ask my clients to ask these. I learned them from our mentor, but they are universal, right? There's many people teach these questions. It's not unique to me, but it's really, really simple. And you can ask these questions, you know, about your day, about the thing you just did sitting at your desk, about the project you're trying to create, or whatever it is, right? Number one, what worked? Number two, what didn't? And number three, what will you do differently next time? There's an assumption that there'll be a next time. Like you're sitting down and making that plan. Oh, I'm iterating on this. I have a binder full of worksheets that say those three things from every single event that I've ever done. And I handed them out to anybody who helped run the event. So they could also share their input about what worked, what didn't, and what they'll do differently next time. There's other things that you might want to reflect on as well, including what did you just succeed with? What are you celebrating? What's been most impactful for you? And what hasn't? What didn't work? What challenges are you facing? What have you not completed? Like these are some great questions. And then you throw in your third question of, well, what are you learning from that? I mean, it's just a different way of saying these main three questions. You can look at just about anything. You can look at your week and ask that. You can look at your day. You can look at the quarter. You can look at the launch you just attempted or, successfully completed. But we don't have to wait as leaders and small business owners. We don't have to wait until we're bigger and we can hire a data analytics team or great, that's wonderful. But we're going to go back to last week's word, which is we're not going to have complication here. Okay. We're going to simplify it, and you can grab a notepad. What I want you to think about is it doesn't matter if we're talking about making money or we're talking about anything you have ever done where you overcame a challenge and you succeeded. I want you to think about any time that you overcame a challenge and you succeeded, and what did you do? How did you do it? What values did you bring? What skills did you bring? What steps did you take? This is literally the basis of your own recipe for success. It is your system of success. It's based on your evidence. I mean, you could think about when if you went to college, it might be when you graduated with your degree. If you had an emergency in your family, but you took the reins and you muddled your way through it and everybody came out okay or didn't come out okay, how did you navigate that? Those same exact values, skills, and steps you can apply in your business. And we want you to be very specific about the work that you're doing in this whole designing for profitability. We want you to think about how can you apply that in making money. And this is what Victoria was about to share before I went on my
Now I love it. I love it. 100%. I feel like that needs to be said because the one thing that compels women, in my opinion, compels women to not prioritize profit is this spirit of, I don't know, or they know better than me. So, in other words, shiny object syndrome. You have the trail of glitter, like you're saying. You've done amazing things. You've made a way out of no way, 6 ways from Sunday. Like, you are a badass. Excuse my French. I'm American. So, like, you're a freaking badass. You're amazing. And at the same time, there's this inner spirit of like, well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know enough, or let me learn something new. Let me try something new. Let me keep trying on the new now next. Versus what we were saying before in the review, specifically identifying, and this is a term that comes from our mentor, Fabienne, shout out to you, money generating activities. Identify what are your unique money generating activities. Again, taking it outside of business and back into the body because me. So for most people, eating a banana is a healthy choice. Not in my body. It's not that I have an allergic reaction, I have an inflammatory reaction. Do I love bananas? Yes. Do bananas love me? No. And so that is not a health generating activity for me, eating bananas, putting it back into the business context. Joe Schmo over there says, "Oh, you want to make more money? You got to go on TikTok and do TikTok lives and you got to TikTok a laka schmaka." Okay, great. For Joe Schmo. Oh, and Joe Schmo is like, and for $99, I'll sell you a course to show you how I made $1 million on TikTok. And if I can do it, you can too. That's like telling somebody who has a peanut allergy that if I can eat peanuts, you can too. No, baby, I can't. My body, my business, right? Be kind to yourself. You've got to identify what are your, I'm going to call them UMGAs because I want to put you in the forefront. Your money generating activities, not in general, that helps people in general out there or help them. But I'm talking about UMGAs, your money generating activities. Women, please wake up and prioritize your unique profit generating, your unique money, your unique freedom, your unique health generating activities. Stop saying, I don't know enough. Stop saying, oh, I'm an imposter. I have imposter syndrome to fit in with the rest of the traumatized, messed up people that think having imposter syndrome makes you important and part of the crowd. No, baby, that's like, that is maladaptive. That is something that is handicapping you. No disrespect to those who are differently abled. So you don't want to add extra difficulty where there is none if you simply haven't been looking at your own brilliance and your own strengths, your own different abilities, rather than seeing your abilities as disabilities because they don't fit into the societal norm. Find your UMGAs, and that's how you're going to start making you money, right? Your money. On yes, on purpose, but not by accident because you are self-aware.
And your money generating activities, your best activities, while they might be uncomfortable or different to you because you're not used to them at this particular juncture yet, maybe you've been like on this routine of following other people and doing what they say is the best path and not listening to yourself. When you start listening to yourself, you will notice full circle that your money generating activities excite and delight you, right? We come back like, yeah, maybe that banana tasted great in Victoria's mouth, but when she eats food that is for her body, it feels great. It's not just the momentary, like, ooh, sugar rush. It actually feels great. So keep that in mind, and take it slowly because what we're talking about is not just some, oh, here's the structure of how you're going to do this. It's a shift. It's a shift in how you think about yourself in relation to your business and the activities that allow it to be profitable. And
Mm-hmm.
speaking of profit, next time on our 22nd episode, we are going to be talking about pricing. And pricing is definitely an important part of profitability. We need to price for profitability. So, how do we do that? And what are some of the maybe pitfalls in selecting your pricing? Where do women specifically come up against barriers when they're selecting their pricing? So we're going to be talking about that next week. In the meantime, if you've been listening to this and you're like, excite and delight did not come into my vocab regarding my business anytime recently, except for when maybe those moments at the beginning when I thought about starting it. Or as a leader, if you're thinking, gosh, you know what, I just feel really burnt out. I don't feel connected to my work anymore, and I don't know what to do. If that's you, we'd love to talk to you. We offered last week something that you may have missed, an opportunity to come on the show as a guest and be coached. That is still available. You can type coach in the comments below and we will get the information to you about how to join us. And if you'd like a private conversation, type connect and we will set up a time, all three of us, to just explore what's going on with you and where your challenges are.
We'll reach out to you in a three-way DM on LinkedIn to set that up. Either way, so whether you're ready to ask your question and get our support in front of the public, right, with typing the word coach below, or whether you would rather handle that privately and you're ready to go deeper and really roll up your sleeves together with us in your business and by typing connect, either way, we're going to send you me, and Nettie, a three-way DM on LinkedIn to set that up. And so we are here because we believe in knowing your power and you using it as a woman leader or for the woman leader in your life. If you know a woman that you respect and love who could really benefit from this podcast, hit that share button and send it on over to her, forward it to her, or just simply repost it on your favorite platforms so that more women leaders and people who love women leaders can have this powerful information. Hit the like, let the algorithm know that you liked this information, that it was valuable. Until next time, we're sending you all so much love, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.